Alright, so my blog is going to be titled Global Media and Video Games, and my first blog is going to be around the EA's Star Wars Battlefront 2 crisis. And this is something that happened recently with the video game industry, and since I only have 2 minutes of recording allowed per syllabus, as per the syllabus, I'm going to brush over this event. It happened recently, but before we do that, a little bit of back story or context. Who is EA? An American video games company. EA stands for Electronic Arts. Is a huge publisher in the video game industry, #1 on a lot of records, and on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and even penetrated the mobile game market, and has a lot of bestsellers on that. As we can see here, a lot of revenue rose from 4.4 billion in 2016 to 5.5 in 2018, and of course we can safely assume, based on these statistics, that they're probably going to be increasing or rising profit in the next couple of years. What happened was, the Star Wars Battlefront 2 franchise had a game that was about to be released, and the publisher for that was EA Sports. Oh, sorry, EA, the game developer. Its initial release date was for November 17th, and what the problem was that the game price itself was $94, which is pretty expensive, but the downloadable content inside the game, or the microtransactions, added up to around $80, which is a crazy amount of money, considering the fact that it's almost the price of the game itself. And so so customers would buy the game, would have to initially kind of almost pay double the price to actually play the game, and so they wouldn't be getting what they paid for. And this, as you can see here, there's a lot of microtransactions here. There's the $4, $7, $8, $15, $30, and then the $80 of microtransactions in the game. And this kind of enraged the community on social media around the world, and caused a lot of public controversy. This is kind of the timeline. What happened is, early November, before the game was released, there was a kind of a teaser version of the game released, and when people found out during this teaser game that these microtransactions are so expensive, there was this whole outrage. And then Monday on the 13th, EA reduced the game in cost, but that still fueled the fire of outrage. People were still very angry, and so eventually the father company of the franchise, Disney, because they own Star Wars, ordered EA to remove all microtransactions, because I believe they thought that it was hurting their brand image and their reputation. And so let's look at a couple of reactions on the social media. This is from a website, reddit.com, which is a huge forum website, very big. This is kind of like talking about how EA's PR team has handled this very poorly, and how everyone's disappointed with EA. And actually, one of the interesting things that came about this relating to media is that on reddit.com, this huge forum website that we talked about, EA Sports official account tried to respond to the outrage, but instead of this response helping the situation or solving the problem, it actually caused some further backlash, because this became the most downvoted Reddit comment of all time. And why it was downvoted so much was because this comment, instead of apologizing and promising to fix the problem, actually EA tried to justify their reasons for charging so much money and try to give excuses instead of apologizing. So the internet really showed an outrage, and they expressed it in terms of satirical content, making fun of EA and portraying them as this kind of money-stealing company. And this is kind of taken from SpongeBob SquarePants, the popular kids TV series, about how EA's PR team, or EA, didn't really do anything to fix the problem. And this is kind of what they did. They try to explain their actions, try to justify, but then eventually they canceled the microtransactions, and they issued a statement, as you can see here, from one of the higher ups in the administration or up in the company. But yeah, it was quite too late for them to apologize. The damage has been done, and in my opinion, what they should have done is, they should have done their research before implementing the microtransactions. If they did any sort of research, they would have known that $80 is just way too much for microtransactions, and that customers would have definitely been enraged. And what they have also done is that they should have acted earlier, and they should have fixed the whole microtransaction solution problem earlier, instead of just trying to justify their actions. And so that was my blog post for today. Thank you very much.